Okay, this lesson on the product rule. Product rule is where you have basically two brackets multiplying together, two functions multiplying together. That's when, and you're taking the derivative of that. So the formula for it is you take the derivative of the first times the original of the second plus the original of the first derivative of the second. So here's an example. I have two brackets here. I get 2x plus 3 times 5x minus 1. Okay, so this is a binomial times another binomial. Theoretically, or I could actually multiply them together by using expand and simplify rules and get all into individual terms and just use simple differentiation. Some other times it's not possible, or it's a lot more difficult to do, so that's where we use the product rule. So using the product rule on this one, I'm going to take following formula, derivative of the first. So derivative of the first bracket is just a 2. Multiplied by the second, 5x minus 1, the original of the second. Then I'm going to go plus the original of the first, and then derivative of the second. See if you can simplify it all. I can multiply this 2 into the 5x minus 1, which will give me 10x minus 2. I can multiply this 5 into the 2x plus 3, which is going to give me 10x plus 15. Collect like terms, 20x plus 13. Okay? So derivative of the first, original of the second, plus original of the first, derivative of the second. Following that pattern again. Here I have 5x times 6x minus 2. Because you have two little functions multiplying together, that's what tells you to use the product rule. So I'm going to multiply, or take the derivative of the 5x, which is just going to be 5. That's derivative of the first, then I have the second. Plus the original of the first times the derivative of the second. Derivative of the 6x minus 2 is just 6. See if I can expand it all. So I'm going to multiply the 5 into both of those. 30x minus 10. Multiply the 6 into these two, and that will give me plus 30x. Collect like terms. That gives me 60x minus 10. Okay, and another example. Using the product rule. This one you're going to have to do a combination. It's actually going to be the product rule with the chain rule involved in it as well. So here I have, again, two terms multiplied together. That's what tells me to use the product rule. But in the second one, this is going to end up being the chain rule, and I'll show you how. I got to get rid of that square root. So my original function is x cubed multiplied by x squared minus 1, but the square root is really to the exponent of 1/2. So here I have first function, second function. My second function is to an exponent itself. That's what tells you need to use a chain rule. So here I have the chain rule inside of the product rule. So my derivative is derivative of the first, 3x squared, times the original of the second, okay, plus the original of the first, and derivative of the second. And this is where I need to do the chain rule, derivative of the second. So follow the chain rule, bring my exponent down, the original of the inside, reduce the exponent by 1, and derivative of the inside. Now, depending on your teacher, depending on what you're asked to do, depending on what you need to do, you might have to simplify a little bit further, okay? But here at least you have the basic chain rule set up. I can certainly multiply certain terms together. I can multiply all these together. That will help out. 3x squared, x squared minus 1 to the 1/2. I have, so x cubed times 1/2. It'll be 1/2 x cubed times another 2x is going to give me, that is just going to give me x to the 4. And then I have x squared minus 1 to the negative 1/2. I'm going to common factor out an x squared minus 1, but I'm going to common factor it out to the negative 1/2. So I'm going to take out x squared minus 1 to the negative 1/2. That's going to leave me with 3x squared. And when I'm dividing, I subtract the exponents. So I have 1/2 subtract negative 1/2, so that gives me x squared minus 1, 1/2 subtract negative 1/2. That just equals 1, the exponent of 1. Plus and then I want to have x to the 4 for the second term. And I've column factored out the x squared minus 1 to the negative 1/2, so that's just going to be multiplied by a 1, because dividing by itself. And that's going to give me x squared minus 1, negative 1/2. I can multiply the 3x squared. And again, depending on what you need to do, you may not need to simplify this far. 3x to the 4 minus 3x squared. And I have plus another x to the 4. So x squared minus 1, negative 1/2. That's going to give me 4x to the 4 minus 3x squared. And here I can take this down to the denominator, get rid of the negative exponent, and I'll have 4x4 minus 3x squared all over the square root of x squared minus 1. So that is a simplified version of the derivative. You may or may not need to go quite that far. Okay? But the product rule is derivative of the first, original of the second, plus original of the first, derivative of the second. Thank you very much.